My name is Scott, and I'm the missions minister here at FBC Huntsville. Today we're beginning the second phase of Advent, and this is now centered on peace. If 2020 is known for anything this year, it won't be peace. As I'm recording this is one day before the presidential election. We're entering month 7 of lockdowns from COVID. U.S. deaths are well above 200,000. And global conflicts continue to rage. Police shootings and protests have become commonplace. And the rates for depression and anxiety are continuing to skyrocket. Peace, if anything, is not commonplace. But I think that we're thinking about peace a little bit wrongly. We often see peace as a state of being that's free from conflict. And if that were the case, there would be no such thing as peace anymore. Conflict, pain, loss is everywhere nowadays. I always gravitate to people that I like to listen to when they take an idea and they flip it on its head. I heard a quote last week that did this for me regarding peace and war. Peter Rollins says that war isn't conflict, but war is the inability to have conflict. Conflict is when we sit, we fight back and forth, and we're able to listen to each other. This struck me. The ability to sit down and listen is a practice that we need to practice. And we're no longer able to be around and with one another is when things like war take place. I don't think that this is just true for our geopolitical time. It's also true for our own inner peace. We need to be able to work through our traumas and fears and our hardships before we can ever come to a place where peace is able to be found. It's almost like peace is something that we have to work towards. It's a skill that we need to hone, a muscle to build, an art form. Peace is not the avoidance of pain, but I think that peace is rather the coming to terms with it. We have to be able to shift from seeing peace as an absence of pain, rather to be able to work through pain to reach a farther goal, work towards a greater purpose and a higher calling. If we're able to find any type of peace in this Advent season in 2020, it's because we worked towards it in the midst of our brokenness in our days. It's not because our days got easier, but it's because we worked hard for peace in the midst of the trouble and hardship. In my own life, the worst nights that I have with my wife are the ones with unresolved emotions. You know, when you disagree and you argue about something and it's just too late, so you go to bed unhappy, and there's not a lot of good night's sleep that happen after those arguments. Peace is found through being able to have healthy conflict. We can't have peace through pushing away our hard conversations. The only thing that we continue to build then isn't peace, it's tension. The text for today's Advent devotion is Mark 1. So Mark 1 is the announcing of the good news of the coming of Jesus. There's this guy that's chosen to fulfill the task, and he is John the Baptist, dressed like Isaiah was, to be seen as this new prophet that's now heralding in the coming king. So John comes to town and he's preaching and telling people to repent and to be baptized and to be on their guard because Jesus is coming. And the people love John, right? They celebrate him, they listen to him, they throw him a parade, everything is just rosy. Yeah, this is not what happens. John's message is not met with peace. It's met with opposition. It's met with his own death. But John's calling is set out to be an usher of a new type of kingdom. It's to pronounce the coming Prince of Peace in a world a lot like ours today. A world with social strife, socio-economic divides, authoritative governments. But John's message and ultimately the peace that's found in Jesus, it takes effort, right? Just like those hard conversations before bed with your spouse, it's found through the conflict of life. That's how you achieve peace. Peace is never easy. If we want peace in this world, we're going to have to really want it. Living a life of radical obedience to God is never easy, but that doesn't mean that it's without peace. Following Jesus is always hard. There will be doubts. There will be those who reject what you want to say. There will continue to be loss and pain and heartache. But there will also be peace. And this peace is it's like a pulse, like a murmur deep down. It's pushing through the foundations of your heart into this soft and subtle beating that gives you the hope to press on, right? It's something that's undergirded. It's just heard if you listen close enough. This type of peace that Jesus offers in this Advent season is marked with resilience. It knows the calling called upon it, just like the calling that was put upon John the Baptist. It knows what the calling demands, and it seeks to live into this calling no matter the consequences. The peace is found through the adversity. In this season of Advent, if we're to find our stories in the calling of John, we're to be messengers of the coming of Jesus Christ. We're to be resilient in our peacemaking and to offer the world a new type of kingdom, something other than pain that it finds itself in. We're to offer it the love and the life of Jesus Christ.